Hello everyone, welcome to AK Academy. So in the last video we have discussed about the thermodynamics of the cell, right? And in this video we are going to start with the electrolytic cells. So in the electrochemistry, as we have discussed, we have three kind of major portion for the electrochemistry. The first one was galvanic cell, and the second one was electrolytic cell, and the third one was conduction of solution, right? So now let's begin with the topic, that is electrolytic cell. So here we have electrolytic cell. Now let's understand what happens in electrolytic cells. In the galvanic cell we had what? In the galvanic cell we has A plus B was giving you product plus electricity. In the galvanic cell, A plus B, both the reactants were combining together and they were giving product and the electricity. But in case of electrolytic cell, the A plus B will react with each other in presence of electricity. Here we will supply electricity to the reactants. Here in this case, A plus B will react together by means of electricity and the product will be formed. So this is the basic thing which we understand in the electrolytic cell. In this case, more precisely what happens here, the electrical energy get converted into the chemical energy. So here we have electrical energy will get converted into the chemical energy. Electrical energy will get converted into chemical energy in the electrolytic cell. Lytic means what? Lytic means generally breaking. Lytic means breaking. So in the electrolytic cells, actually what we do, we break the ions. We break the electrolytes into the ions, and those ions either maybe will get deposited, right, or they will react with each other. Now let's see the scheme of the cells where actually the electrolytic reaction will takes place, where everything will takes place. Now let's see. So what we will have here in this case, let's consider one cell, and in the cell there are two electrodes. As we know, there are two electrodes. We have this cell, this is the cell, and here we have two electrodes. One is cathode and the another is anode, and they are connected with the battery. Let's see. Here we have positive terminal and here we have negative terminal, and here we have one electrolytic solution. So here we have electrolytic solution. So as we have discussed, whenever a metal rod is dipped into the solution of its own ion, there are two possibilities, either the electronation or the de-electronation can take place. The first tendency, when the metal get dissolved into the metal will get converted into the metal ion, so that is called as basically solution pressure. But when the metal ions from the solution will get deposited on the electrode, so this tendency is called as osmotic pressure. These all things we have discussed already. Now let's see what happens in this reaction, what happens in this cell actually. So in this case, as you can see, we have here electrolytic solution and we are supplying electricity to this solution. So here the battery is connected. Now let's see what is going on. So here we have positive charge. So because of this positive charge, this entire electrode will be positively charged, right? And here the entire electrode will be negatively charged. This electrode is negatively charged and this electrode is positively charged. Now let's see which one is anode and which one is cathode. In the galvanic cell, what we had? In the galvanic cell, the negative electrode was anode. In galvanic cell, we had this negative electrode which was anode. But in case of electrolytic cell, it doesn't like that. Here in this case, the negative electrode is cathode. This is cathode and this one is anode. And what I had told you whenever oxidation takes place, the electrode on which the oxidation takes place, so that electrode is called as anode, and the electrode on which the reduction will take place, that will be called as cathode. So here let's prove it, how actually on which electrode the oxidation is going on and on which electrode the reduction is going on. So now let's see. Here we have this anode, right? And on this anode I will prove over here that why here the oxidation is occurring and why we are calling a positive electrode as anode. And the same thing we will do on the cathode as well. So let's see, here we have, let's consider, here we have one solution, that is Ca. Ca means what? One is cation and one is anion. C stands for cation and A stands for anion. So in this case, here we will have positive ions and the negative ions. So now, dear all, tell me, if we have this positive electrode, so definitely this is going to attract the negative ions, means anions. So this positive electrode will attract all the anions present in the solution. And the same thing will happen over here. This is a negative electrode, so this will attract all the positive ion towards it, right? So this is negative electrode, this is attracting all the positive ion towards itself, and this is positive electrode, so this is attracting all the negative ion towards itself. Now let's see what the reaction will be. So here we have this cation, right? So this cation and this anion, so on this electrode all the anions are here. So let's see, here if we have this A minus, so definitely this A minus will get converted into A plus electron, because this is positive electrode. So the anion, the reaction will be something like this. Here this anion, this A minus, will lose one electron and the product will be formed as A. So this is what? This is a kind of oxidation reaction. So definitely if the oxidation reaction is occurring on this electrode, so we can say this is anode. So this reaction is what? This reaction is oxidation reaction and this is happening on the anode. Now let's see over here. So in this case what is going to happen? In this case we have cation. So cation is positively charged. So here we have C plus. So C plus, right? So what this C plus will do? Here this electrode is negative electrode. So this C plus will accept the electron from this electrode and that is going to form a product. Let's see. So C plus will accept one electron and that is going to form C. So this is kind of reduction reaction. This is a kind of reduction reaction. So what we can say, in this case the reduction reaction is occurring and in this case the oxidation reaction is occurring, right? So here we have oxidation reaction, here we have reduction reaction. So the electrode on which reduction reaction takes place, they are called as cathode. So here we will have cathode. I hope you understood the basic mechanism of this electrolytic cell, how the electronation takes place, how the de-electronation takes place, right? Now in this case actually we will talk something about the spontaneity of the reaction. So what is that spontaneous reaction, right? So now let's see what happens. So what we say, if suppose we have galvanic cell, so in case of galvanic cells, we say that delta G is negative, and in case of electrolytic cell, delta G is positive, right? So now we will see one example and we will try to understand how a reaction is spontaneous and how a reaction is non-spontaneous. So we will discuss about the spontaneity of the reaction. Now let's see what happens actually. So in the galvanic cell we say that if the EMF is positive, in galvanic cell basically the EMF is positive. So if the EMF is positive, so delta G definitely will be negative. How? Delta G is equal to minus NFE. We have understood this, we have learned this, right? So if the E is positive, so definitely delta G will be negative. So in the galvanic cells, delta G becomes negative, right? But what happens in case of electrolytic cell? In electrolytic cell, delta G is positive. How? Because what happens actually in the electrolytic cells, we are supplying the electricity to the reactants. We are supplying the electricity, so that's why what happens actually, if we will see in the electrochemical series, basically what happens, if any E naught value or this SRP, basically standard reduction potential, is negative, so that reactions are actually not favored at all. So in this case, what happens, if we have SRP is negative, so we need to provide the electricity to that reaction to take place. We will understand it very better way. If we have delta G, so delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. We know it. Delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. So what is delta H over here? This delta H is what? This is enthalpy. This is enthalpy of the reaction. And delta G is what? This is Gibbs free energy. This is Gibbs free energy. And this T is temperature and delta S is entropy. Now what I am trying to tell you actually over here, please try to understand. Watch video completely and definitely you will understand how this reaction takes place and why we call it spontaneous and non-spontaneous reaction. So if we have this delta G, so what is the delta G of any system? So if any reaction is taking place, right? Consider any reaction, let's say that is A plus B is getting converted into P. A plus B is forming B. So what happens actually, delta G is what? Delta G is the Gibbs free energy and delta H is what? Delta H is the total energy of the system. So delta H is total energy of the system. If I remove some energy, that is what? It is a kind of energy which any system required to become stable, right? So from the total energy, if I remove some amount of energy which makes the system stable, which is basically this is freedom, right? So if I subtract this one, so there will be some amount of energy in the system to do the needful works, to do the useful works, and that energy is called as Gibbs free energy. So Gibbs free energy is the energy actually which any system has to do the useful works. Now let's see what happens. So in case of galvanic cells, this delta G is negative. Why this is negative? And in case of electrolytic cell, this delta G is positive. So actually consider any system, if delta G, if some amount of energy is lost to do the work, so that will be actually decreased. So that's why in case of galvanic cells, the delta G becomes negative. But in electrolytic cells, what happens? Actually we are supplying the energy to the system. We are giving extra energy to the system. So in that case, what will happen? If we are giving energy to the system, then this delta G will definitely increase. This delta G will increase. So that's why delta G becomes positive in case of electrolytic cell. I hope you understood, right? And now let's understand the same thing by taking one example. Suppose you have 100 rupees. Your net worth is 100 rupees. If you have 100 rupees, then you will require some money. You will require some money for yourself to take care of yourself. Suppose let's say that is 50 rupees you require. 50 rupees you can donate to other, right? 50 rupees you can donate to other, 50 rupees you require for yourself. So what will happen here? 50 rupees will be remain. So this 50 rupees you can use when you have to do anything, right? So this is basically the Gibbs free energy. This is the total amount of money you have. This much amount of money you require for yourself. This much amount of money you can donate to other, right? So this much will be remain for your future. So this 50 rupees will be with you. So what will happen if you are spending this 50 rupees to do any work like galvanic cell? So if you are spending this 50 rupees to do any work, so in that case this will decrease. Definitely this 50 rupees will decrease. So that's why the same thing happens with the Gibbs free energy. So in that case also the energy is decrease. So that reaction is actually spontaneous reaction. So that's why we say that delta G is negative in case of galvanic cell. In any spontaneous reaction delta G is negative. But if you have this 50 rupees and we have to do a work, but still if I am giving you extra energy, if I am giving you extra money, so in this case this 50 rupees will be increased, right? So 50 rupees will be increased. So that means that will become positive. So that's why in the electrolytic cells, if we have this delta G, so we are actually supplying more energy to the system. So that's why delta G will increase. So if the delta G will increase, so definitely delta G will become positive. So here in case of electrolytic cell, the delta G becomes positive. I hope you understood and everything is clear now. So this is the basic of the electrolytic cell. So in this video we talk about the electrolytic cells, what are they and the spontaneity of any reaction. So we understood these all topics very well, and in the next video we will see the Faraday's law and we will solve some previous equation based on that Faraday's law. So see you in. And if you are watching this video on YouTube, so please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching this video.